What's going on, friends? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the podcast. This is not the podcast. This is YouTube. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube channel, not my podcast. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of today's episode, damn it, I'm in podcast mode. Before we get into today's video, be sure and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That way you know every time a new video goes live, because I'm actually on a streak this time. I've been saying that every single video, but I've been on my streak of hitting a video a week for several weeks in a row now. So be sure, if you haven't already, go check the older videos I've done. These past few weeks have been really good. But otherwise, let's get into today's video. So today is, to be honest, just some real talk. Too often this is what people need to hear, and I am here to help you. I don't want to just come on here and just hype you up. I'm not your hype man. That's not like my thing. I want to come on here and give you one or two pieces of information, teach you a couple things that like alters the course of the rest of your life. So this is something that, like I said, it's kind of some real talk and just telling you what you need to hear. Because for most people who are upset that their weight loss is taking longer, that they're taking a minute to get to their goals and things just aren't going the way they want, so to speak. Here's the real talk part. Let me get this straight. You've struggled and yo-yoed with your diet and weight loss for 1, 2, 4, maybe 5 years, hell, even maybe a decade of back and forth, of doing things specifically the wrong way. And it's been like, let's say 3 or 4 months of you doing things the right way, and you're upset that you haven't lost all your weight yet. Think about that. Literally, most people that I talk to who apply for coaching, who tell me how frustrated they are with their lack of weight loss and how little they had to show for their effort, are usually the people who have struggled and yo-yoed for half a decade, maybe a couple decades. But then when like it's been 3 or 4 months of doing things the right way, they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't lost the weight yet. Oh my gosh, I should have seen more progress by now. Oh my gosh, this isn't going very well. But it's like, you've been doing the wrong stuff for years, and it's been like 90 days and you're pissed. Think about it. We have to bring things into perspective. Think of it this way. If you've given, let's say, years of this doing it the wrong way, be willing to give years doing this the right way, even though it's not going to take years doing it the right way. But one of my favorite things to ask people who are really frustrated at where they're at right now and their lack of progress, and they're just wanting to speed things up, is this: how many years have you been trying to lose weight as fast as possible? Once I ask that, they make a face kind of like this. But here's the thing, let me paint this picture for you. Imagine if in the beginning of all this, imagine when you first set out years ago to try to lose weight, you did it the right way. Imagine if you did it like what I'm teaching you here. Imagine if you didn't care how long it took you to lose the weight. More than likely, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. This is why the best thing you can do to speed up your weight loss is stop caring about how long it takes. But the reality is, most people, when they hit their first roadblock, their first test day, their first hit of discouragement because of how long it's taking, they whip out the victim card. Oh my gosh, I'm not meant for this. Oh my gosh, losing weight's so hard for me. Oh my gosh, it's never gonna happen. But here's the thing, when you whip out the victim card, you have to understand that victims never win. Take ownership over your life and everything about your situation right now. Just because something may not be your fault doesn't mean it's not your responsibility now, because it's your life. With where you're at right now, you may have had a rough childhood around this stuff. Your parents probably taught you some really messed up stuff around weight loss. You were probably indoctrinated into diet culture, so you really believed all the wrong information. And here's the thing, that's not your fault. But now that you know better, it's totally your responsibility. Take ownership over your life and your situation, and don't just whip out the victim card just because things are getting hard. Again, you've struggled for more than likely 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20 years, and how long has it actually been doing this the right way? A couple months, 3 months, 4 months, maybe? Most people that watch my content tell me that it hasn't even been like 2 weeks doing the right stuff and they're upset they haven't lost weight. You see what I mean? We have to go about doing this the right way with the right intention and perspective, and stop trying to speed this game up. Because we can't have new, long-term, long-lasting results with old, outdated mental software. I hope this was helpful. Be sure and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. But be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. That way you know when every new video comes out. Be sure to check the description, because I got some cool stuff in the description below. Like I mentioned on my last video, don't forget I actually have a brand new free Facebook group that anyone can join, because I want to stay connected with you and keep giving you value. And if this message hit home and really hit you in the face and helped a lot, be sure and tell me in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.